Well, hi, boys and girls. Long time no see. It's been 6 weeks. I am remiss. Today is Saturday, July 15th, and everybody probably needs to get a snack because I've got a lot to show and I've got quite a bit to talk about. I've got a little bit different stuff to talk about today. So make yourself at home. I've got an FFO, I've got a finish, I've got a couple of whips. I got 3 whips to show you. I've got quite a bit of stash acquisition because it was my birthday. And then I have a couple other little things I wanted to talk about. A couple of them are things that just one of them I think is something that I said I'd get back to you to, so I want to get back with that. And I'll start with that since that was something that some people were interested in, and that was needle minders and their possible effect on implanted devices, pacemakers, defibrillators, cardiac defibrillators, that kind of thing. I have a cardiac defibrillator. So the last time I went to the cardiologist, and I also saw the technician who works for the device company, and he checks it every 3 months to make sure everything's in working order and that the battery is still top notch and all of that. I took a couple of my needle minders to show him. And he said, when the device, at least this is just for mine, you need to talk to your own cardiologist, but when my device was implanted, what they do is, after it's all hooked up and everything, I'm sorry if this is going to freak anybody out. It kind of did me, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll try and go through it quickly. After it's implanted, before we leave the operating room, what they do is they take like a big old honkin' magnet, and he said it was like this big, about that thick, and put it right where the device is, and that shuts it off. But he said you have to put it like right up next to the skin. It's a big, big magnet. That's what they use in the operating room. And then when it's shut off, then they trigger it to make sure that it's working. But they shut it off and they put me completely under, so I didn't feel it. It didn't hurt or anything. And that's how they do that, to make sure that it's working correctly. And then they can remotely turn it back on. And that's what they did. So he said that unless I had like a big bag of little needle minders and I was walking around with it on my chest, that could be a problem. But if I'm just using them as we regularly use them, that's not a problem. He said even if I wanted to wear something like that, because he initially thought that it was something that like I would wear on a lapel, he said, well, you could just wear it on the other side. I said, no, it's not. That's not what they do. That's not why we have them, but that's good to know, just in case. I mean, some of them are really cool. You might want to use them as pins, right? I've got some cool ones. So I actually have bought a couple more since he said that it was okay. But yeah, if anybody who has these devices has any questions, make sure to ask your cardiologist or the tech person that checks your device, just to make sure. He said with my particular device, it was okay. So I'm going with that. And it's all good. So I just wanted to follow up with everybody to let you know about that. Let's see. Let's start don't know whether, I don't think I want to do all my talking at the beginning. I think I'll intersperse it here with some other stuff, with my regular whips and stuff. So let's start with an FFO. I did this last year. It's a little Lizzie Kate that I did not manage to FFO before Thanksgiving last year, but now it is. So I'll be able to actually put it up somewhere. It's not perfect, and you can see some of my threads in the back, but heck, it was a Walmart frame. I did not put the glass in it because it wouldn't fit with this and this thing and the glass. So I just left the glass off. I think it'll be fine. It's only going to be up for 2 weeks, and then I'll wrap it up and put it away. So that's cute. And I have a finish, and that was, sorry, this Humble and Kind by La Di Da. And I did this for my husband for Christmas. And somebody asked me, so how do you work on something for your husband at home? Do you like only stitch on it after he goes to bed, or what do you do? And to be honest, he doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to my stitching. So, and the only reason he would know that this was for him was from the lettering. So I could do work on this out in the open, and the only thing I did while he was a meeting one night was the wording, and then I just put it away. But anyway, it came out really cute, I think. Hello. Hi. There is just one thing I want to, so yeah, it's darker than the picture, which I was glad of. I was going to try to pump up some of the colors if it looked like it was going to be the same as in the picture. The only problem with it is, if you'll notice, the picture has the alphabet down at the bottom. I didn't get the alphabet in my pattern. So, and he doesn't, he'll never know. So I think it looks just fine the way it is. And I think I used DMCs on this. Yeah. And the fabric is Chromatic Alchemy 28 count Brittany Lugana in the color, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ostry? E-O-S. Okay, well, I was just doing a tiny bit of editing to smoosh all my clips together, and I noticed after I talked about the Humble and Kind finish that I started talking about my chatelaine, and it didn't record, or it stopped or something. So I just wanted to add in here that I've been working on it about 10 days a month, and I'm hoping for a finish by the end of the year, but I'm going to be gone a couple of weeks in December, so I might have to work up that 10 days a month between now and then, and sneak in a couple more days every month. And I don't have it, it's all on my frame, so I didn't want to take that apart, but last time I moved it, I did a video, so hopefully I can get these all put together in the proper order. So that one is coming right along. hoping, I'm hoping that I will get it done before the end of the year, but we'll just have to see about that. If I can keep trucking on and keep on my kind of plan that I have for each month. I'm getting in 10 days a month. I might have to pump that up a little bit more because I'm going to be gone 2 weeks in December, right before Christmas. I don't know that I'll be able to get anywhere near 10 days done there, so I might need to work that up a little bit between now and then. So it's beautiful though. I love her stuff. You'll see that in the stash. Heaven's Window. I'm afraid you can't see the bottom of this one either, but I've worked on this for a couple of days, and I've done pretty much this whole area here, except for I can't see. I'm having trouble here today, folks. This will be the end of the page, and then I'll fill in all the stars and the comet. And then there's just one more page and another like 2 columns left to the edge. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do all of that, finish this whole top row, and then move down. Because I've done a bunch of the next row over in this way, this area, and I'm just going to start moving over. And you can see there's another mountain that started right here, and then there's another one that starts, threads all over. There's another one that starts right in here. So, and then the next page has a big mountain. It has a big mountain that goes over here. So it doesn't have as much sky in it as all of these others did. Oh, and this is Hortense. I got Hortense for my birthday. Isn't she great? But then, and you'll notice though, that Stuart is over here in the corner. He used to be over there where Hortense is, but he's in timeout over here because if you will notice closely, he is flipping me off. I've had him for 6 months, and I just noticed that guy is flipping me off. I think he's jealous of Hortense. So he's in timeout right now until he can learn to behave. And the last whip I had, and I don't remember whether I told you I'd even bought this last time, was the mini witching hour. It's the small one. But, you know, I'm a sucker for black cats. You know that. I don't even want to guess at how many black cat patterns I have. And I started this. It doesn't look like much, but it's browns. It's the start of the curtain. Browns and dark sky and grays. And I think this is the start of the full moon right over here. So I think this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be a lot smaller than I thought. I thought about starting it over on a bigger count, but I really, with all the dark colors, I really, really wanted full coverage so you couldn't see any of the fabric. And I'm getting that. This is on 28 count, a 2/1 10 stitch. And I'm getting fabulous coverage. So even though it's going to be smaller than I would have liked, I'm going to stick with that because I really don't want to move up to doing 3 strands. 2 will be fine, and it'll be good. It's just, I think what I did was the pattern says 20 on 25 count, obviously. Yeah. And I didn't really take into consideration on the size that I was doing 28 count. So, but it's good. That's nobody's fault. That's my fault, not anybody else's. Those are all of the whips. I know there's not much, but I had that Humble and Kind too that I finished. So, okay, let's talk about something. Oh, if you'll notice, all of mine are on almanac frames. I got 2 new sets of sidebars, the short ones, the 15 centimeter ones. I really like these because even with the 20 centimeter ones, on a couple of my pieces, I really have to stretch my short little arms to get up to the top. So I'm really liking the 15 centimeter ones. And I've seen a couple of people who were, I don't know, not confused, but were questioning how to convert centimeters to inches. And I have found that the easiest way is with a tape measure, because all of the tape measures I have inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. I wonder if rulers do too. I don't think I even have a ruler anymore. But all of my tape measures do. So people, you might want to check that out. See if that'll work for you. And the Almanac Company is celebrating its 10th anniversary right now. I think he sent out a notice yesterday or the day before, but they're having a sale, and I don't remember how much it was because I skipped right on past it because I just got an order like 2 weeks ago, and I really don't need to order anything from them right now. I'm good for the time being. But I think it was, if you bought 2 sets of frames, it was 15% off or something, and there was a certain percentage off if you bought one of their stands. So check that out. It might save you some pennies. It'll compensate for the shipping. So yeah, I love the 15 centimeter sidebars though. They are worth the investment. And congratulations to the Almanac Factory. One of these days I'm going to get my butt over there and go see Anton. He's a looker. Okay. I wanted to say, I know I'm late to the party here, but I wanted to talk just for a minute about Beverly Avenger, which everybody else has too, and I'm not going to say anything that's any different. I'm going to miss her comments horribly, and I did notice that about 3 days after we found out that she'd passed away, I saw her last comment on my last video, and it always cracked me up that she called me kiddo. And then I found out that I'm older than she was, and she still called me kiddo every single time. It just cracked me up. But I don't think until this happened, anybody ever realized how important those comments are, the positive comments. And she never made videos, and I don't know that I ever saw any of her stitching. Maybe I did a while ago, I'm not sure. But she was just one of the most positive people I've ever run across. And I'm going to try to take a page from her book. And I think that would be a good thing for all of us to do. And I'm going to go with the premise of, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because otherwise it just gets mean, and it doesn't do any good. It does nobody any good. And then it just gets people pissed off. And that's not what we're about here. We're supposed to be a supportive, loving community. And for the most part, we are. But we can always use improvement, myself included. I know, I get snippy and sarcastic, and I do have to bite my tongue. But I'm really going to try harder to make the positive comments and support people who have questions, and the new stitchers or people that are nervous or scared to try something new. I'm going to try really hard to help those folks. I'm no expert or anything, but I'd at least like to give moral support to folks. So I hope that a bunch of us can do that, and just remember what Beverly was all about. And she was all about loving our videos and our stuff and our work and us, and we need to honor that. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to miss her comments. The other thing I have is knitting. I don't think you've ever heard of knitting from me before, but before I took cross stitch back up in 2015, I knitted exclusively for about 10 years. When we first moved here in 2005, we didn't know a soul. And then I found a yarn store up in Tucson that gave classes. And so I went up and I took some classes. I met some folks, some ladies. That was 12 years ago. We are still close friends, even though I'm not doing any knitting right now, but I'm getting the bug. So we'll see. Maybe we'll start a knitting segment. I don't know. Anyway, crafters are the nicest people. And this one is specifically about knitters, this story. I was on Ravelry, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And there was a lady talking about, she wasn't looking for any contributions or anything. She just wanted some moral support. She's got 3 boys, and she and her husband have made the decision to homeschool the boys. So she stays home. She does not work outside the home, but boy, that would be working. I couldn't homeschool. So money is tight. All 3 boys are in Boy Scouts, and the middle boy had been working all this year to go to their annual jamboree and going to all the events and fundraising and doing all that. And then a week before they were scheduled to go, they found out that the troop itself had come up short on money, and all of the parents were being asked to contribute the difference. And these folks did not have the money to do that. I don't know how much it was. And so she was going to have to tell her son that no, he could not go to this jamboree. And like I said, she wasn't asking for any contributions, or she wasn't asking for money. She just wanted some feedback and some support and acknowledgement that they were doing the right thing and that he would be okay and all of that. Well, somebody on this thread went to this lady's Ravelry page and discovered that she had a cowl pattern that she had done for sale for $3 Canadian. And she posted that, and she posted, well, I'll try to help. I'll buy the cowl, you know. Well, Oh, I've got goosebumps. So many people bought that cowl pattern. $3 Canadian. What is that in American dollars? $2.50? I'm not sure, but it's nothing. It's not even a cup of coffee. She was able to pay for her oldest boy's fees, the necessary fees for him to go to the jamboree, give him a little bit of money so he could buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or a souvenir or something while he was there. And she also paid the Boy Scout fees for her other 2 boys for the coming year. And then people were still buying the pattern. So she contributed the rest of the money to another family in her son's troop who the boy was not going to be able to go because they too were short of money. So I just thought that was the most caring thing for people to do. Now, I have no idea how much money we were talking about here. I don't know. But there's a bunch of people doing that cowl now. And I know there's knitters out there. There's some of you guys are knitters. Jessie. Stitching Joanne. I love that new sweater you're doing too. So let me give you her name in case anybody's interested in supporting the Boy Scouts and doing a cowl. It's 100 degrees here and I feel like I need a cowl. So her name is Angie, Angie. Last name is Lanigan, Lanigan. And the name of the cowl is the Maritime Morning Cowl. It's $3 Canadian. And I checked her page this morning. She also has another cowl that she has just posted for sale. And she's got some discounts going. If you buy one, you get $1 off the other one or something like that. So if you're interested, do a good thing. Check out her cowls, and you can't go wrong with a cowl. They don't usually take a lot of yarn, so I bet we all have yarn in our stash. So there you go. Let's see. Okay, I've got stash, and then I've got one more thing, and I'm going to do that other thing first. Oh, no. Wait, one other thing. So we had a bunch of stuff in a storage unit, and my husband decided last weekend when it was 106 degrees that was the perfect day to clean out our storage unit. Man, I melted. But I found a bunch of yarn that I'd forgotten I'd had, and I found a couple of skeins in particular that I was looking for. And it's lace yarn. What I did, what's wrong? Are you all right? Yeah, you want to come up and say hi? You want to say hi? No? Okay. It's lace yarn, but I wanted to try to stitch with it. So when I found it, I said, oh, stop everything. And I did a little test stitch just on the side here. Look at that. That's one strand on 25 count tent stitch. This is the yarn. It's 100% silk. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this stuff. I was so upset when I thought that I might have lost it or it got thrown away by mistake. I've had this for, 5-6 years. I mean, I think I could do, with the amount of yardage I have, I think I could do Death by Cross Stitch 3 times. I think I figured it out. That's how much is in these things. So I need to find something to stitch with this, with a little bit of it. I am not going to do death by cross stitch. I had a moment of weakness last night and thought that's what I was going to do, and I got talked out of it. So thank you. You know who you are. Yeah. So one more thing, and then we'll do stash acquisitions, and then we will be done. I think everybody has seen this pattern. Birds and blooms. Full size. I'm afraid to add up how many stitches it is, but it is 29 inches wide by 10.5 inches tall on 25 count. I don't love it anymore. I really don't. Let me show you what I've done. And I don't know why. I have it on 25 count easy guide. And I didn't even finish a page. So that's what I've done. I've got my parked threads down here and my little waist knots and stuff. But I've got all the threads, and I've got this, and I'm just not going to finish it. And I think that part of it is because I believe, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I believe there's some random mistakes in here where there are lighter threads when there should be darker, vice versa, and I can see them. Nobody else can probably see them, or maybe you can, but I can see them. And I just don't have, I can't take it out. It's too much. It's too much for me for a project that I'm just not loving anymore. So here's the deal. And I've been told, I've been convinced by Pemberley, we all love Pemberley, right? She said it was okay for me to call her the bitch that bosses me and the big mouth and my big mouth friend. And some other things that I won't say. We'll keep this kid friendly. She has convinced me that somebody might want this. So we're not talking about just this. The fabric, I measured it this morning. It is plenty big. It's got room to spare. It's on 25 count, easy guide, and I was doing 2/1 tent stitch. Okay, the coverage is very nice. I think it's 2/1. Yes, 2/1 tent stitch. Okay, so we're talking this, the fabric with my poor little less than 1 page. We're talking all the threads, which are all set up on Paco organizers. They're all kind of, I should have. And you can see I put in all of the symbols are on all of them. Each one of these, I started with a full skein, so I'm sure that there's plenty of each color. Okay, and there were some colors that had required more than one, so I have those too. All right, so here's the deal. I have an electronic copy, so I cannot give anyone the chart. So what Pemberley convinced me of was that I would give this away. We'll do a little thing in the comments section. Then whoever gets it will be in contact, and that person can tell me what kind of chart they want. If they want an electronic copy, if they want a paper copy, if they want a regular size or they want the larger size, whatever kind they want. And Pemberley and I will buy the pattern that that person wants, that whoever gets this wants. Does that make sense? Obviously, I can't force you to do Birds and Blooms, but because this is a big ol' honkin' piece of 25 count. Okay? I would really like it to go to somebody who would actually do this pattern because it's all set up and everything. But hey, if you can't, or you don't want to, or you're just in it for the threads or the Paco organizers, I can't stop you. So, yeah. Do what your heart tells you to do, okay? So anybody who is interested in receiving this, and the copy of the chart of your choice, just comment below Birds and Blooms. How's that? I'm not going to make you write an essay. And I'll have it go until August 1st. And then I will do a random number and I will post a quick little 1-minute video announcing who gets it. How's that? You have to be a subscriber. You have to be over 18. I think that's about it. So we will see. If I still have my doubts that anybody's going to want this, but hopefully there's a couple of people out there that do, and I'd be happy to give it to someone who's going to love it more than I do. So I don't know why, but it doesn't call to me anymore. So better have it, give it to someone else who's actually going to appreciate it than have it just sit in my box. So, okay, there's that. Okay, Stashquisitions, and then we are done. It was my birthday, right before July 2nd. And so I got a couple of stitchy gifts from my daughter and her husband and her two littles, Max and Genevieve. I got a gift certificate for 123 Stitch. So I spent that the other day, and that stuff is on its way to me. I bought some patterns. So I will post that. I'll tell you what I got in my next video. And then I also have a friend who sent me the most awesome gift. Let me show you. It all came in this tin. Isn't that beautiful? Oops, there's something on there. Look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. She didn't want me to say who she was. She wants to remain anonymous. Whenever anybody says that, it just cracks me up. That always, the only thing I can ever think of is in A Christmas Carol, when the poultry guy delivers the big old turkey, and they want to know who it's from, and he says he wants to remain anonymous. That's all I can ever think of. Anyway, so it's anonymous. And I got all kinds of goodies. I've never seen this one before. It's called Stitch Always by Lucy Beam Love in Stitches. Well, come here. Come here. You want to say hi? Huh? Come here real quick. Say hi. Say hi to the people. You feeling better? You had a nice long nap. Are the drugs wearing off? Maybe. Okay, down you go. Okay. You have food. And then I received a couple of the Little Sheep Virtues. I have joyfulness, friendship, wisdom, and gratitude. And with my gift certificate that I got, I bought a couple more of those. So we're going to, and I'm so impressed. These don't use specialty threads. They're all DMC. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Oh, and they came with all the buttons too. So I'm going to collect more of those. When I ordered them the other night, I didn't order the buttons. Shoot. I'm going to have to go back and order the buttons. And I have some, she knows how much I love Fiberlicious stuff. So I've got some, these are cottons. I'm not going to go through, and we've all seen Fiberlicious stuff. Her stuff is beautiful. And I just recently, on the Quaker coffee, which I haven't worked on in a while, started stitching with some of her cottons. I had never stitched with the cottons before. They're lovely and not expensive at all. Go check her out. Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, I believe it is. And a little needle threader, which I haven't used yet. I've got to take it apart and see how this baby works. Oh, there's another Fiberlicious. Oh, and these were all individually wrapped in little tape measure ribbon. Isn't that cute? I saved the ribbon. So there's some regular, and then there's a smaller size. So I saved all those. I'm going to reuse that stuff. Some little heart thread rings. I'm not doing well with the camera today. And, oh, some needle minders. I haven't taken these out yet. I'm going to have to go over and get the other ones. So we have these two from Sunspot Creations. There's Miss Princess. And there's a cat butt down there. I love the kitties. And Miss P. And Hortense. Where's Hortense? Yeah, she's not. Hortense, the hippo. Isn't she great? I love her. And two more things. She made me a bead holder that goes on. So you put the beads in here, but then this is a needle minder. You put this on the bottom and then attach this, and then this has a little sticky thing on it, so you can just put your beads right on this and it stays right on your work. Isn't that cool? I've never tried one of those before. She made it for me. Isn't that sweet? Red's my favorite color. So we will, and then you can store more beads in this little box, and then it just closes up when you're done. Or it's supposed to. Yeah, there. There. Cool, huh? And then the last thing, I have never seen these before either. I got spoiled, man. These are Kid Mohair limited edition color pack by the Thread Gatherer. And look at that. Aren't those pretty? I need to find, I've got a bunch of samplers that I'm going to start one of these years. And I'm going to find a way to put these in one of those samplers. They're beautiful. The only mohair I've ever worked with is yarn. So I love this one with the variegation. That one there. And those colors are pretty true. So thank you, anonymous friend. You know who you are. That was so generous. And I'm going to keep this little tin forever. I'm going to find a stitchy thing to do with it. Let's see. Okay, so that was the birthday stuff. Then I bought Northern Expression needlework. I had a moment of, well, we all have moments of weakness, right? The, what's it called? Phoenix Mandela with the Fiberlicious threads. And the fabric is a sparkly, I don't know the name of it. It's a linen, 28 count linen in Abracadabra from the company that will not be named. So that will be fun to work on. And then this was from a while ago, I think, and I forgot to show you. I love these little owl guys. This one reminds me of my husband and I. You guess which one is which. So I got that. And I got my fabric of the month from Chromatic Alchemy, which is Tempest. Very pretty, as always. As always, Sam, your stuff is beautiful. And I'll say again, I really love a fabric of the month that I get every month. And I ordered from Jessie Marie from her storybook collection. Storyteller, I'm sorry. Storyteller collection. And I asked her to kit up this for me. I have all 4 of them. They are not large when they're done up. They're only, I looked, on 28 count, the design size is 18 inches by 5 1/4. They are not big at all, but Mondo backstitching. Wouldn't be bad if you did it as you went along. So I decided to start with spring because my master plan is to do all 4 of them on one piece of fabric, one on top of the other. All in one. So I asked her to kit this one up for me in the bags, in the new bags that she does. So there, I received 2 of these. Let me show you. So there's each, it comes with a little thing that tells you what numbers are on which ring. And then each bag, look at these, they even have like fancy grommets on them, very heavy duty. Each one has the name or the number on a card, so you can make notes or whatever. You could put a full skein in the back and what your little pieces, oh shoot, in the front. Hold on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was talking about with the nice cards, you could make notes on the cards, or you could put the full skeins in the back and what you haven't used in the front, however you want to do it. So it came with 2 of these, and each one has one of these little things that tells you what numbers are on them. Nice heavy duty bags. These are not your typical floss away bags, let me tell you. So we're going to give these a try. And Jessie was so nice. She wrote me a nice little hand written thank you note, and she sent me some candies. And then a couple of days later, I got an email from her saying that she thought that one of the threads in the package may possibly have been mislabeled, or a wrong thread had been put in. She thought, she wasn't sure. So she sent me a spare of the correct one just in case. And then she sent me this little bag. Look at the little sugar skulls. And this little, okay, I'm showing my age here. Is this a needle threader? Needle threader, I believe. Anyway, it's very pretty. I'm going to give that a try. And another little handwritten note, but it was all good. There was no problem with the initial packaging. Everything was correct, because as soon as she emailed me, I checked, and I told her, you don't have to send this and she said, nope, already did. So that's okay. Very nice. Good job, Jessie. Good job. I'm very impressed. Let's see, and I think, I have 3 new patterns that I bought. And 2 of them are Jessie's fault. I talked to her about this yesterday. I don't know why. I have not been, this has never been my thing, but God, this one grew on me. I had to do those eyes. Man, I just had to. Luckily, they're little. It's only 9 by 9. Luckily, it's little because I bought the second one too. Won't those be great next to each other? Cool, huh? And then the last thing I bought is another chatelaine. And this one is Running Stitch's fault, because she's done the first, I don't know, third of it on the top, and oh my God, I had to do it. It threw all of my 2018 plans into total disarray. I got to start all over with my plans. But that's the Persian iris garden. And that's that. I got this from the website. So beauteous. Absolutely beauteous. Now I got to save up my pennies to buy the thread and bead kit. But hopefully I'll be able to start it next year. And I believe, girls and boys, that is it. Yeah, that's all on my, yeah. So I will go smoosh all these clips together and get this thing uploading. And I will see you in another couple of weeks. Yeah, so that's it. I hope everybody's having some good stitchy time. Remember to love what you stitch. Stitch what you love. And if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I'll talk to you soon.